So good to be here today and so glad you're here. I am going to be talking about how to stay healthy. 6 ways that I am prioritizing my health right now. Wanted to touch on this today because it has been so top of mind for me, and I have probably listened to like 12 hours of teaching in the last couple days, getting different experts' opinion on what should we be doing, what should we be eating, how should we be exercising, what should we be taking. And so I'm going to share that with you today. There's so much craziness out in the world that I hope you will share this video out, because these are the things that we can do to take care of ourselves, and they're pretty simple, and it's not exactly what you're hearing on the mainstream news. So take a break from the news and let's do our part, do what we can to keep ourselves healthy, to keep our families healthy, to share what we're doing and how we're doing it to stay well. So I'm excited to talk about this today. Hope you guys are having a great day. I have done this 2 days in a row. I just got finished eating blueberries and I feel like I have drinking wine mouth. I feel like my teeth are a little bit purple, so I'm super sorry about that. Okay, I have my list. We're gonna get started. 6 ways that I am prioritizing my health right now that you might be inspired from. So the first thing that's always and forever on my list is food, but I want to tell you some specific things. I want to share with you 5 things I'm eating, 5 things I'm avoiding. Food is a general, I understand is a general topic, so I'm going to just go through a few things for sure. The first thing that I would do if I were you, the first thing that I have been doing is stopping sugar and flour. So sugar and flour are very inflammatory. And when you're eating foods that are really inflammatory, like, processed food, simple sugars, when you're eating foods that are inflammatory, your body has to spend a lot of energy to support that inflammation, which means it doesn't have the energy that it needs to do all the things that it should be doing all the time. So in my coaching group this month, we're doing no sugar and no flour. People have had unbelievable, amazing results. They feel so much better. Their inflammation is down. They sleep better. They're more clear. Their bodies. The other thing that happens when you're eating high inflammatory foods is that your body retains a lot of water to support that. And so the other thing that's nice is you get rid of a lot of that bloating and all of that. So that's number 1, get rid of sugar and flour. Number 2, be really careful with things that disrupt your gut biome. So this is a really, really important topic, which we're going to go into tomorrow in way more detail. But suffice it to say this: you are as healthy as your gut microbiome. Your gut microbiome is what decides what gets through into your bloodstream. How do you digest your food? How do you deal with toxins? How do you support your mental health, which is mostly in your gut? How do you support your immune system, which is mostly in your gut? And foods that are really tough on your gut microbiome are anything that contains glyphosate. So genetically modified food is modified in a way that makes it resistant to being sprayed with Roundup, which means that if you're eating a lot of genetically modified food, it has Roundup in it. And Roundup was originally marketed as an antibiotic. It's very toxic to your gut microbiome. So things that you can be careful about, again, is avoiding processed food. Most processed food, 90% of it, has glyphosate in it. And really washing your fruits and vegetables when you get them. I love and use the Thieves fruit and veggie wash, but washing your food really good, because we have so much glyphosate, so much Roundup in our environment that it's in our rainfall. So even if you're buying organic food, wash it really well so that you're not taking in a ton of glyphosate, which is really disruptive to your gut health. The other thing that I want to say about food is that your body is designed for periods of fasting. So in general, think about it like this. So when you're sleeping at night, your body does a lot of its reparatory type work. And if you're snacking late at night and then you're eating first thing in the morning, you're shortening the amount of time that your body can do its thing, because digestion takes a lot of time. So if you're going to bed and you've just eaten or you're doing a lot of snacking, your body is going to be prioritizing that and not prioritizing all of the repair healing processes that it would normally do while you're in deep sleep. So increasing the amount of time that you're not eating is so good for you, and it's not that hard to do. You're already not eating while you sleep, so just increase that a little bit. Stop snacking at night, skip breakfast or eat breakfast a little bit later. Really helpful for your body to stay healthy so that it's not processing food and digesting food all the time. It also, I just find it so much easier to eat healthier when I'm just eating twice a day, maybe a small snack in between, versus just kind of eating all day. The other thing that I will say about food is that prioritizing foods that help you stay satiated, so protein and fat, a little bit lower in the carbs, because when you're eating carbs, you're secreting insulin, and insulin makes you hungry. So in general, eating foods that you know are going to be more satiating really helps, so that you're not eating all day long. So let me know if that was helpful. Let me know if you're the type of person, give me some hearts if you're like, oh my gosh, yes, I'm hungry all day long and I consistently always want a snack. That's probably because of what you're eating. You're not prioritizing foods that really help. I will just say a few other things about just foods in general. I watched several videos on like, what are the, 10 foods we should eat and 10 foods we should avoid or whatever. So here's what I'm trying to get in. I'm trying to get in salmon, wild caught salmon. I'm trying to get in blueberries. I've been eating a lot of blueberries. Blueberries have a lot of health benefits for us. Leafy greens, so good for you. Really good in the micronutrient category, so that is awesome. Olive oil, so good for you. Just untold health benefits from olive oil. Avocado, good source of healthy fat there. Just so many good things that I'm usually asking myself, like, okay, did I get blueberries today or in the last few days? Did I eat salmon this week? Am I getting my green leafy veggies, throughout the week? The other thing that I prioritize is cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, and all of that. Mushrooms. Mushrooms are the thing that I've been learning in the last couple of weeks. I've been studying this a ton about mushrooms, is that mushrooms are prebiotics. So we're going to talk in a little bit about supplements that you should be taking to help with your gut health, but mushrooms are prebiotics, so that's what the bacteria in your gut eat in order to fuel themselves to work how they're supposed to. So prebiotics are really important. So I've been eating a lot of mushrooms. I love mushrooms anyways, but mushrooms would be something to add if you haven't been having mushrooms. Things to avoid: vegetable oil. So vegetable oils, just do a little bit of research on the dangers of modern vegetable oils. Not good for us. Contain trans fat. Oil and fat are the building blocks of our cells, and if you're building your cells from partially hydrogenated oils, not good. So get rid of those vegetable oils, use coconut oil, use olive oil, or whatever. We mentioned flour and sugar. So flour and sugar are super inflammatory, and in general, processed food. So a lot of processed food, not good for us. I would be careful with grains and dairy. Some people can handle grains and dairy better. I can handle some dairy, but there are a lot of molecules that we often don't want in grain and dairy. So I'd be careful with those, and really prioritizing grass-fed beef, wild-caught salmon, organic chicken, like prioritizing those protein sources and those good fat sources so that you stay full longer. Okay, number 2, exercise. So probably number 2 for every class I teach is exercise, or it at least makes the top of the list. And let me tell you why staying healthy, especially right now, we need to exercise. Muscle is the organ of longevity. So you want to stay healthy for as long as you can. You need lean muscle, and you get lean muscle by resistance training. You have to use the muscle in order to grow it, in order to keep it. So if you look at people who, if you look at the studies of people who have a hip fracture, and how do we know if they're going to survive or not from that hip fracture as people get older? Do they have lean muscle? So I know for sure, last year when I tore my ACL, I can do everything that I could do before, never had surgery. I know that the reason that that is the case is because I have prioritized building muscle. I've built a lot of muscle around my knee. I've did therapy and learned which exercises to do and to CrossFit consistently, just using the muscles. There's so many good benefits, y'all. And the other thing that's cool about exercise is that people who exercise have a healthier microbiome. So they have healthier bacteria in their gut. Exercise will change your gut bacteria. So want to stay really healthy, exercise, so important. A couple of things that I've found as I was studying this week is women who exercise from middle age on have a 90% decreased chance of Alzheimer's. 90%. So we have to make this a priority. Not obviously, I mean, it can help with body composition and weight loss and such, but I'm just talking about building muscle so that that muscle becomes the organ that there's so many amazing things that lean muscle does for us. And the more lean muscle you have, the more your body is able to use the fuel that you give it. So we really need to prioritize lean muscle. The other thing is that, fat in and of itself tends to follow inflammation. And burning fat is harder if you don't have lean muscle. So the more lean muscle you grow, just the easier it is to tip the scale. Literally. The other thing I love about exercise, of course, is the mental aspect and the fact that you tend to drink a lot more water. So here's what I notice. I go to the gym 4 to 5 days a week, and then I usually do some kind of walk or long run or long walk the other day of the week. The one day that I don't exercise, here's what I notice. I don't drink as much water, not even close. So it makes me realize how much that exercise is causing me to drink water. So this morning I went to CrossFit. We had a great workout, you guys. By the way, if you live in my town, why do you not come to my gym yet? It's seriously amazing. It's called 10 Experience. You can find their Facebook page here on Facebook. We just started a brand new class for beginners that doesn't have barbells. That's mostly resistance training and cardiovascular aerobic type workout. That's I think it's at 9:30 Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but it's amazing. It's called 10 Fit. But if you're not in my town, just find a good place. I totally do believe that the CrossFit model of group exercise is so important because you're there with people that you've suffered together, you're invested in their lives, you miss them when you don't see them, you work out harder because you're there. But the other thing that I notice is that I take, a huge big Yeti full of water. By the time I get home, I've already drank that whole thing. So I'm starting my day with exercise, and I usually work out fasting. So I'm fasting, I'm exercising, I'm drinking a ton of water. Like, what an awesome, great start to the day. So if you're currently not doing that, figure out a way that you can do that so that you can support your health in so many good ways. Okay, next thing is reduce stress. This is so important right now. How many of you are so tired of the news? You're so tired of seeing something that gets you in this place of fear, that gets your mind like all crazy. I'm just done with it, over with it. This is not how we live our lives. We don't live our lives in constant stress. If you do that, it will kill you. So turn off the news. Here's the other thing that's so important with stress reduction, you guys. Like literally the connection that we have with other people. Another reason I love my gym, that connection that you have with other people, checking in with them. A lot of us aren't seeing people that we've seen on a regular basis right now. So calling people on the phone, prioritizing relationships, prioritizing this connection that we have with other people. It releases oxytocin in your body, which makes you feel good, which makes you, that sort of connection is so, so important. So doing that really does help with stress. The other thing is just learning how to manage your mind. You can say to yourself, oh my gosh, the world's going crazy. This is terrible. Da, 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 da. You keep telling yourself that over and over. Your brain doesn't know any different except other than to believe you and to make all of your negative thoughts come true. So decide what you want to think. Decide. I did an Instagram post today, and I want you to go read it. It's a quote from Frederick Buechner. He wrote it, 50, 60 years ago. It's so apropos for today. And meditate on things like that. Meditate on scripture. Meditate on things that really inspire you and motivate you. Stop meditating on things that make you stressed and anxious and worried all the time. You have a choice. You don't have to consistently put that in front of yourself. I've had to unfollow a lot of people because they're just way too into the fear-mongering and all of that. And I'm not going to live my life like that. It doesn't do any good to live your life like that. So, reduce your stress by taking control of your thoughts, which will then make you feel a certain way or not. Your thoughts cause your feelings, and your feelings stimulate your actions. So this is another really important thing. What are you doing in your life right now to really give you meaning and purpose? Like, what are you doing? Because if you're just wringing your hands and watching the news and being anxious and oh my gosh, then of course you're not going to feel well. You're going to be stressed. Your body's cortisol level is going to be high. That's going to make you hungry. That's going to make you not be able to sleep. That's going to make you hold on to fat. Like, it's all the things that it's exactly what we don't want in our lives. And in order to turn the tide on that, what can you do that really gives you meaning and purpose? How can you speak life into somebody else? How can you do something that you've been putting off? Maybe you want to start something or write something or do something in your life that you haven't had time to do or you haven't been able to do so far. I literally feel like that over the past few months, of course, we've all been under stress and it has taken its toll on all of us. But then how are we going to show up? How are we going to say, no, I'm not accepting that as a new reality. I am going to find my meaning and purpose. I'm going to live out my life with intention. I'm going to prioritize relationships. Like, these are all things that I feel like are so important. When you're consistently stressed out, your body does not produce enough immune cells. You don't produce as many T cells and lymphocytes. It has a devastating effect on your immune system. We have got to get out of this stress cycle that most of us have been in. This is not healthy for us. And obviously, we have a reason to want a really healthy immune system right now. The other thing is that, guess what else stress affects? Your microbiome. So you want to have a healthy immune system. Your immune system so you've got these single layer of cells that line your gut, right? Your immune system lives back behind there. And when you have leaky gut or things that are damaging that lining of your gut, it also is damaging your ability to mount an immune response. So all of these things are working together. What you're eating, what you're thinking, how you're moving your body, how you're exercising, how you're hydrating, all of these things are really, really important. At the end of this, I'm going to tell you how essential oils affect cortisol and stress, but they are super important. One of the very few kind of like easy fixes that reduces cortisol and gets your body back into balance. Number 4, sleep. So sleep is more important than ever. When you're in deep sleep, one of the things that I read this week, and I've read this before in Matthew, what's his name? Matthew something's book on why we sleep. I love that book. But he talks about how when you're in deep sleep, you get this, it's almost like a car wash for your brain. You get this brain wash where if you haven't eaten near bedtime, this is why you need to eat. Give yourself 3 or 4 hours before bedtime. Don't snack at night. Here's one reason that you should do that is because if your blood flow is available to your brain during deep sleep, your blood flow will prioritize to your brain, and it will kind of give your brain a bath. It will wash out things that your brain doesn't need, partial proteins that are not good, amyloid that can eventually, cause plaque and Alzheimer's. It will literally wash that out. Like, it's kind of like a squeezing effect if you can get enough blood flow to your brain. But if you're eating too close to bedtime, then that blood flow is then going to be in your digestive system. So giving your brain a chance to really rest. In deep sleep is when your immune system is active and it's doing what it needs to do. It's when you make your hormones, which are so important to keep you healthy. So prioritizing sleep now more than ever. Now, here's the worst thing you can do. Watch some news right before you go to bed. How many times have I done that? I'm like, oh, I didn't realize such and such, so I'll look something up. And then you can't get to sleep because now your brain is on hyper alert trying to protect you from, all kinds of things. So, really prioritizing sleep and doing something else besides watching the news before sleep. I mean, we should just be giving up the news altogether, but especially right before sleep. Your brain needs this time to heal itself. It needs this time to make the hormones that you need. Number 5, supplements that I'm taking right now. This is the one we're going to go into in more depth tomorrow. I will share with you some studies on each of these, but things that I'm prioritizing right now, vitamin D. Vitamin D is so powerful. So powerful. It's a hormone that your body needs. 70% of Americans are deficient in it. I have a whole video on vitamin D on my wellness Instagram. It's called Sisters Well. If you want to go back and scroll through that and watch that video. Vitamin D is crucial for you right now. So if you need to get outside, right? I mean, we need to get outside. We need to get sunshine and absorb vitamin D through our skin. We also, most of us, need to be supplementing. I just listened to a talk on vitamin D that was so inspiring, but this doctor was talking about how when he starts to not feel well, he will take like 100,000 units of vitamin D. I'm taking, 4 to 10,000 a day. But when he starts to not feel well, he will take massive amounts. He's a cardiologist who's been in practice for 40 years. He's always prioritized vitamin D, never seen anybody be toxic, even though it is a hormone vitamin that you can technically store. So make sure you're getting a good source of vitamin D right now. Vitamin C, really important. Your body can't store it, so you do tend to need to give yourself plenty of vitamin C, especially when you feel like you're not well or feel like your body needs some extra support. So those are really important. The other thing that I want to finish with, number 6, are essential oils. Essential oils obviously are incredible for so many things. What I love about them, especially during a time like this, is that they're adaptogens. So unlike other things, which especially something that you could buy over the counter, which would have one usage, essential oils are adaptogens, meaning they resonate with your body. They're made for our bodies. They're coming off all of the plants as you're outside breathing them in. They have untold functions in your body. Clean out your receptor sites, help get you more oxygen. Just do the things in general that your body needs. That's why you use lavender oil when you have a boo-boo on your skin. It works for your skin, but that doesn't make you sleepy. You use lavender oil at night when you need to go to sleep. It helps you sleep. That's called an adaptogenic molecule, a molecule that has the intelligence of God, that has the intelligence of a creator, that can do in your body what your body needs. I love oils for how they reduce stress and reduce cortisol and just help us in general feel better. It's a very powerful response when you breathe in an oil, just all of the magic that happens in your body. And again, we'll go into more detail tomorrow. So I just wanted to share with you kind of where my brain is and what I'm thinking about right now in ways that I can stay healthy and prioritize health, especially as we're going into fall and we're going into maybe kids going back to school. Lord, please let it be so. And I really think that when you're armed with things that can help you, you feel empowered. You feel like you're doing something. You don't just feel at the effect of like, oh, I guess I'm just waiting on whatever the government to do. No, take control yourself. Take control of your health. Do some research on every one of these points. If you go Google search that and look for natural options that help your body be healthier, it'll take you down all these amazing rabbit holes. And that's what I've been doing over the last few days. I've just been like, what am I missing? What do I need to be reading up on? What do we need to be doing right now? And for the most part, it was basically what we've been doing. But I just wanted to share that so that you feel empowered, so that you have some stuff that you can do, so that you don't feel like you're just sort of wringing your hands and waiting. You can take charge. Doesn't mean you're in control of everything, obviously. It doesn't mean you're never going to get sick, obviously. But it does mean that you can do what you can do to take care of yourself, that you will get your body to a place where it's as prepared as it can be, and then you leave it in the hands of God, and you have faith and pray. And so anyways, I hope that helps you have a little more peace of mind. And join us tomorrow for this class. This class is going to be an hour long. It's going to be so much material, so much good stuff. We're going to go deeper into the food, deeper into the types of exercise, deeper into the supplements and the oils, like all of that stuff tomorrow. So, all right, you guys, I hope you have a great day. Share this video out with your friends, and I will see you soon.